While I was reading the book of Jeremiah today, I saw a very interesting and a loving character of Abba, our Father, and I thought to share with us. I know you like it too. So let's read. I'm using King James Version for this one. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 4. Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor. It sounds like an advice. And trust ye not in any brother. I think it's serious. For every brother we utterly supplant. Like I said, it's a very serious advice. And every neighbor we walk with slanders. Verse 5. And they will deceive every one his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies. I don't know that there are people that can teach their own tongues to talk lie. I'm just knowing that, because I believe that lie doesn't have a memory, that when you lie today you can easily be caught tomorrow. But I never would have thought that it's possible to see people in the word, because if the word of God says there are, it means if the word of God said they will, they are, you just have to believe it. You don't need to guess, you don't need to second guess it. You don't need to say, could it be true? No, it's his word. He sees and knows everything. So I now believe that there are people that can actually teach their tongues to lie. So let's continue. That's just for that. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. So, you see, it's an advice. But do you know the most beautiful thing in this, from this word, is that when you read chapter 1 up to chapter 8, you find out that God was literally speaking through Prophet Isaiah to the people at Jerusalem, telling them of all the atrocity that they are committing, of the evil that they are doing. That was what God was saying. You know, how the prophets have abandoned his words for fame, money, their belly. That was what God was just saying. What they have done, trying to let them know that every single thing, all the evils and atrocity they are doing, that he's seeing, how they are rebelling against him, against his words. You know, at that time, no one cares. Nobody cares. Everybody was just living his or her own life. Then there were corruption everywhere. Nobody sends anybody. And that time, God was advising us still, but mind you, God was telling them then that what they were doing were not good, that he is seeing everything. That is not what he expects from them. But did you know, even at that same time God was saying all of those things to them, God was also concerned about his own sons and daughters amongst them. Because now, if you look at this present world we are living now, just let's use our nation Nigeria as an example. You see that, you know, things is we don't want to speak negative with our mouths, but things aren't the way they were. Things have changed. Anyone that calls you now complains, say this, even you yourself, you understand what I'm saying? Things are no longer the same. This finance area, in fact, I don't even know how to say it. There are corruptions everywhere, here and then. No one cares about anyone, leadership. Nobody cares. Everybody now cares about their own. But that was how it was then. Many don't want to. Well, thank God in our own time now, there are some that are still listening. And I still believe then there were still some that we are still listening, because I don't know the exact chapter when I heard God telling his servant that they should look at the streets, they should look at the streets that they are living to see There is no single righteous one there, because it was so bad. But my point now is, even at that time, God wasn't happy seeing what they were doing, but God was still concerned about his own. And he was advising his own at that time still. At that moment, he was still concerned. He's a caring father. He was still concerned. That was the reason why he was advising us still, that we should take heed of our brothers, because despite everything was, all of those things were happening, all those things were going on, rebellion, corruption, disobedience, and all, God was still seeing the heart of men, was still seeing plots and plans of men. So he was also advising us. In other words, that tells us, no matter the circumstances that we find ourselves right now going through because of the situations going on, we shouldn't think that God has forgotten us. He sees, he knows everything. He's still watching at us. He's still looking at us, and he's still concerned about our well-being. Like I said, he's still concerned. If not, I don't think then he would have still advised us that we should take heed every one of his neighbor. Just like now, things are going on the way we don't want it, but we can't help. Only God can help the situation. And God is telling you that you should take heed in this time. Take heed. You shouldn't trust your neighbor. You shouldn't trust anybody. You should trust him alone. You understand? I'm just the one saying that. I don't want to add to what is not written. If you're good, I don't want to add to it. I don't want to take away from it, right? So that we should take it, because he said that we should take it, that we shouldn't trust our brothers, because he knows the heart of the people. And he said that for every brother we utterly supplants. Because he sees their hearts. He sees what is there. And they will deceive everyone his neighbor. He sees their hearts. He knows their hearts. He knows every single thing. And as much he was saying, what you guys are doing, Jerusalem, what you people are doing in the land, what you prophets are doing in the land, you're not speaking the word I sent you to speak. You've exchanged the work of God for your belly, for money, for other things. You've forgotten the work of God. You've forgotten the daughters of Zion. Look at your streets, is ruined. It's devoured by these. People have hijacked it and taken it from themselves. Even at that time, he wasn't happy with what was going on. At the same time, he was still concerned. He was still showing concern for his own, because still in all nations, we all know that in a nation, even no matter how, maybe let's just say out of 100%, 90% are going against the law, statutes, and commandments of God, still we believe that at least there are still 10% in the nation that are still obedient, serving him. Let's just use the time of Elijah as an example, right? So he thought that he was the only one that has not bowed down to Baal. God was the one that told him that, hey, you're not the only one. Still have certain amounts of that had never bowed down. You understand? So even at that time, still God knows his children that are obeying him, that are still there at that moment, and he was advising them then that they should take heed. And also it applies to us now, because if you look at what is going on now, we all know that yes, this period and time we are now, everybody eyed a red though. You understand? So we are advised to take heed. We are advised not to trust our brothers. We are advised to, you understand? So all right, I know it's not easy, but everything is possible with God. Keep trusting God, keep believing in him, believe in his words, and he has his way of making sure everything are always good and beautiful with his children, those that love him. See you in the next one. Until then, bye. I love you.